Hi, I'm Marija Nadjsombati. I'm a postdoc fellow in Alana Whelm's lab at the Huntsman Cancer Institute and University of Utah. My research area is looking at how the immune response can be used to target and kill cancer cells. Specifically, I study this protein called RON, tyrosine kinase, and most research on RON has focused on the role of RON in cancer cells themselves. So certain cancers, including breast cancers, can express RON. And when they do, those cancers can metastasize more or spread to new locations. And those patients, unfortunately, will have a worse prognosis. So based on that research, drug companies became interested in whether they could make inhibitors of RON and target this pathway in cancer cells to treat patients. But along the way, we also found out that RON is expressed in some immune cells. And when we delete RON, or when those immune cells can't express RON, they can better kill cancer cells. So now my research focuses on how and why immune cells that don't have RON can kill cancer cells, and whether those therapeutics that are targeting RON in cancer cells can also be sort of repurposed or have a dual purpose and affect the immune response as well, and the immune response's ability to kill cancers. My research, specifically looking at RON and breast cancer metastasis, is really relevant because the more we know about how these signaling pathways can affect both cancer cells and immune cells, the better we can treat patients. So many therapeutic drugs, such as RON inhibitors, are targeting cancer cells, but when we give them to a patient, they're actually affecting all the different cell types in the body. And so the more information we know about how those processes are working, the better we can find and identify both novel drugs, better effective drugs, and new combinations where we can combine different drugs to elicit the best possible outcome for that patient. And that foundational knowledge about how these pathways works starts in these preclinical models like the ones I'm working on. This research will eventually help the world, largely because I focus on breast cancer, and that is the most common type of cancer diagnosis and second leading cause of cancer-related deaths in women. So the vast majority of those deaths are caused by metastasis, which is still incurable. So the models I work on specifically model how breast cancer metastasis can be targeted by the immune response, and a better understanding of metastasis, both from the tumor biology side and the immunological response perspective, gives us the best chance of finding new drugs and better therapeutics for these patients. Being a part of the CTSI has been a real privilege because it has introduced me both to new mentors and peers across the translational research spectrum. So it's really easy as a scientist to stay in your little science bubble and just talk to researchers who study similar things as you. But getting to know my colleagues through CTSI has really introduced me to this new broader world of translational research, and these new perspectives with which I can then look at my own research differently. Yeah, so that's been an amazing opportunity.